EOS technically stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System. Essentially what it is, it's a lot like, let's say, Operation Timothy. It's a track to run on. It is a system that allows us to plan, organize, and execute the ministry of CBMC. It just gives us a track.
Out here in the field, EOS is really giving, I would call it, real attraction to our ministry here. When you have something big enough, it attracts quality people. And one of the reasons why I have such amazing men around me is because EOS has helped me to clarify what our vision is, what our mission is.
Installing a system like EOS, there isn't a physical system. It's really more about implementing processes and procedures that create unity and alignment across the organization. It helps us to plan better. We establish clarity about who we are, where we want to go, and how we're going to get there. And when you deploy this system, that gives you the tools, the framework to go about doing that.
CBMC has been growing in Oklahoma City since 1960. And so for 64 years, we've been operating with the resources and the personnel that God brings our direction. But as the ministry has continued to grow, as we've started to add peer groups and young professional groups and Connect 3 teams and increase the number of events and outreaches we're doing in the community, it became clear that we needed an operating system that was going to help us communicate internally and with our volunteers in a much more structured and coherent way, where everybody understood the role that they play and where we're going as a ministry. And so our EOS journey began with a recognized need, because the old business adage is, if it's not being measured, it's not being managed.
My prior life was very much about holding our people accountable to what they said they wanted to do. And so this holds us accountable.
And we found that to be true. We didn't have a way of knowing whether or not we were achieving our objectives. We hadn't established exactly what those were, and so EOS gave us a framework for that, establishing scorecards, a dashboard. That then gave us not only a common language to use with our volunteer leaders, but a structure for our communications for them. They knew what was expected, and they knew the importance of feeding information back uphill to our team.
It's a communication tool. So for me, it's not something that I was resisting. I was looking for better ways to better communicate the things that God has put in my heart to accomplish. So when men want to be a part of something, they want to know how they're going to be able to fulfill what God has called them to do. And so it's a way for us to have a memorandum of understanding, if you will, to communicate effectively what it is that we can accomplish together.
As an entrepreneur myself, I see a lot of these things being very relatable. We implement some of these things day to day, but I really enjoy having a group of men really discuss and breaking it down and how we can kind of grow together and kind of learn from each other through the process.
I think EOS is working when you look at our engagement surveys. When you look at the fact that before we started EOS, we were scoring in the 48th percentile, pretty much middle of the road. In the last 3.5 years, we've moved that up to 90%. Something has changed. And it's not all me. The reality is everybody is part of the culture. Everybody is a part of what we do here at CBMC. EOS has given us a framework to get everyone aligned. And I think that's what we are seeing. We are seeing the ministry get more aligned. And because of that, we are doing better and more ministry.